Welcome to another YouTube video. My name is ISO Taco. The thumbnail and the title must have worked somehow. Thank God you're here. Welcome. This video, I want to show you how to maybe get a little kickstart into PGA 2K21. I haven't played a golf game since like the Tiger Woods games back in the day. I didn't even know that there was other games coming out, the past couple years that are golf games, because I actually love golf games. Not a big golfer in real life. I mean, I know how to play, but I mean, I don't not know how to play. I know the rules, but I'm not great mechanically. But I've always loved playing these games. I play a lot of like Warzone and PUBG and a lot of like first-person shooter kind of stuff. But it's always so nice to come back to a nice slow-paced game. You can take your time. You're hearing the birds chirping. You're hearing the crowd cheer you on. It's just a nice experience. But this game has a lot of learning curves to it. I've been playing it for the past 5 days or so, quite a bit. It's only been out for about that time. I downloaded it like the day that it came out. There's a lot of little things that if you don't know what they mean, it's going to be kind of confusing, and I think I figured a good bit of them out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the career mode, the PGA Tour career mode, and I think within a couple holes I'll be able to show you everything that I know. It's still going to come down to you to get in there and just get those reps in. I'm using the career mode to get my reps in because I like playing online, which means you have to play on pro mode, which things are a lot more difficult than if you're playing on like amateur or easy and things like that. There's a ton of settings in this game as far as for difficulty. What you want to do is just start on pro mode, and I mean, if you're really new, maybe start on the easier modes and then change your settings later to pro. That way you're not thinking this is the hardest game in the world and then just throw it out. But I hope this video is going to kickstart you into knowing exactly what things mean, at least on the screen, before you get going and start getting frustrated at the game. Before we get right into that, really quick, I would love for you to join me on Twitch. I have been really loving streaming on Twitch. This is kind of one of the overlays that I use whenever I'm just talking to my chat. Twitch.tv/ISOTaco. Follow me over there. You'll know when I go live. I've been playing a lot of this game, PGA 2K21, and I also play Warzone, and lately I've been playing a lot more PUBG and things like that, but I also love getting recommendations for games to play. I would love for you to follow me on this journey and hang out with me in the chat. The way that this game works is you're not going to get like attribute points for power and technique and all that stuff for your character. The way that it works is through your golf clubs. So let's go into my golf bag here, and I'm going to click on my driver. I bought some new drivers. But you can see over here we have distance, shot shaping, forgiveness, swing plane, distance control. So we have all those little settings, and that's really the only attribute. And you don't earn more attributes and add them to get your club better or anything like that. There's no attribute points in the whole game. Let's put it that way. So what you do is just buy more clubs. I don't think I'm misunderstanding that, because I've spent money on more clubs, meaning in-game money. There's coins. You can see it at the top right. I have 925. You earn them through just playing, continue playing your single player and online and stuff like that. Online you can actually do skins games and actually bet certain amounts for the game. So if you win those games, you can win more money. If you hear me saying money, that's what I mean. You can spend real dollars and buy some points if you want to kind of kickstart yourself off. You can change out your whole club set. So I bought a set of irons, and whenever you do that, you get to change out your whole set. So this is my 5, 6, 7, 8. You can have your whole bag full, and you can change everything you want. You can change the degree for pretty much all of them as well. My driver's a 10.5 degree, stuff like that. I'm not exactly sure what all that means. It's getting a little too into the golf technicalities that I'm not fully up on, but so that's golf bag. Let's move on. This is what you see before you're about to hit the ball at any time. In the top right corner where you see tee box, that is saying 100%. That means that the power meter that's at the very bottom, that long power meter, if you hit it in the white zone, meaning you get full power, you're going to get all of your power whenever you hit. So you're going to see in a little bit, whenever I go into the rough, where that is in the top right that says 100%, that's going to be maybe 74 to 80% or something like that. That means if I get my power meter all the way to 100, I'm only going to get about 80% of my full power because I'm in the rough. And that's where the different difficulties in the game come in, because it's going to be a lot more lenient on the lower difficulties, but I try to keep it on pro. If you hold down Y, I usually always hold Y, and I just want to see where we're at here. So I'm using my driver, which is good. I want to hit it as far as I can off the tee box. We can see the tee over there, I mean the pin over there. And then we got a bunker, The next thing my eye goes to is the miles per hour. So we got a 6 mile an hour south that's pushing us up right just a hair. You only really have to worry about the wind on drives and longer pitches and stuff like that. So I'm going to go about right here. And then if you hold down, and again, I'm on Xbox, I'm gonna hold down left bumper. First of all, what that's showing me is look at where my feet is. So on my feet, it's showing me, you see the little white lines within the green lines? Those aren't really moving. They're moving maybe a little bit, but those are moving with the slope of wherever you are. So if you're on a slope like this, where your feet is, that means whenever you hit the ball, it's gonna go kind of along with that slope. So you need to factor that in whenever you hit. Maybe you need to turn a little bit more to the side to counter that. So that's one thing to keep in mind. A lot of people will be like, I hit it perfect, everything was fine, and then it still went left. Well, what was your slope at your feet? The other thing I'm going to do is, and I should say, whenever you first start the game, you're going to go through a training that kind of goes over some of these things, but this is just my version of interpreting what these things are. So I am going to, and I forget the terms, but I'm going to curve this one to the right just a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna go left to kind of go with the wind instead of fighting against the wind. So let's see what happens on. Hopefully I don't get in the bunker as long as I hit it straight. So we've got my shot lined up, and if you're online, there's like a countdown timer, so you don't have a ton of time to do this, but that's why I wanted to do this in single player so I could take my time. B, if you hit the B button, it's showing you the whole hole. From tee box to the fairway, all the way to the green in the pin. I can actually kind of change where I want to be here, and it'll just show you how many yards you are from if you land it there to the pin. I don't use this a ton, but it's kind of a good thing so you can see where all the bunkers are and all that, but I don't use it a ton. Let's say that I maybe screwed up with all the settings that I did. Let's say I kind of made all this stuff a little wonky and crazy. I got the wrong club out and all that stuff. All I have to do is hit the right bumper and it resets me back to the beginning of what the game is recommending I hit with and everything like that. Let me get it back to where I was. I'm gonna go to the left just a hair to go with the wind. And I will get into where it says 295 yards carry, driver, normal. I'll get into that in a minute because that doesn't affect us a ton at this moment. If I wanted to add a little bit of top spin, so when the ball lands, it'll keep rolling forward, I'm holding left bumper and I'll just hit up on my joystick to kind of add a little top spin. And then I'm going to add a little down spin if I wanted to do that. Maybe I wanted to kind of just maybe stop and maybe roll backwards or something like that. It doesn't affect the ball a ton, just like in real life, unless you're Tiger Woods or something. But you can see that since I'm going to try and hit it to curve to the right just a little bit, where it says L there on the right, it's set to be just a little on the side of the ball. The far right one is the angle at which you're going to hit the ball. So if I wanted to maybe get a little bit more under the ball so it goes higher, I would go down on that right stick. Or if I wanted to go up, and then let me scroll out here, so hit Y. And now you can kind of see it's affecting, if I wanted to loft it a little higher, go a little lower, it's actually affecting the distance of the ball. I'm just going to leave that right in the middle for now. Before you hit, what you need to know, you see the ball on the right hand side there, you see the ball, and then there's this meter that goes this way. What you're gonna see whenever I hit this is the path that my joystick went down for my upswing and then up for my downswing. My power meter is at the very bottom. So if I do this correctly, and at the very top of your swing, you want that power meter to be in that white section of your power meter, and that's when you're starting your downswing to hit the ball, to actually attack the ball. The path that you move the stick is going to affect whether the ball goes left or right. And you can see, since I'm on a higher difficulty, that white line going up and down on the ball is very skinny. So I have a lot less forgiveness for screwing up going left or right. The other thing, and the thing that I struggle with the most in this game, is the speed. So whether you're driving, you're chipping, you're putting, and all those things, all that is different as far as your speed, just like in real golf. So whenever you want it to be one fluid motion, you don't want to go back, hold it, and then come back down. You want it to be one fluid motion. So it's going to tell you if you were too fast or too slow on your stick. If you're too slow, it's going to go one way to the side. If you're too fast, it's going to go the other way. If you're too fast, it's going to go left. If you're too slow, it's going to go right. So you want it, what you're aiming for is perfect. And I know I'm talking a lot here before I hit the ball, but I just want to explain some of these things to you. So here we go. Let's hit this thing. So I was too fast, so watch the ball going left. What I want to explain is I'm going to hit left bumper. You can see in the grass what the slope is, but you can't see your slope in the sand. So I'm just going to have to kind of understand that I'm on a slope that's going down to the right. So I'm going to have to factor that in. So let's go to the right a bit. Okay. And now also up in the right-hand corner, 77 to 85% is my lie, where the ball is lying. I'm lying in sand. If I get my swing perfect, my speed perfect, I get my power meter 100% in that white area of the power meter there, I'm only going to get 77 to 85% of my power. So I have to take that into account. So I'm going to not use the driver. And again, this is where some of my lack of golf knowledge comes in, because it feels wrong to be using a 4 hybrid out of the bunker, but I guess that's okay. 5 mile an hour, I'm not going to worry about that since it's pretty much up. So I'm going to keep going over this way a little bit more since we are on that slope, because that really has a large effect. Let's take a practice. Oh, didn't hit it enough in the drink. If you hit it in the water, you just pick your spot where you want to land. So now you can see, contrastingly, I'm on the fairway, 99 to 100%. So I'm going to get the majority of my power out of this. And let's go with my 7-iron. I'm sloping to the right pretty hard. Let's... And you see it went left. I did get my stick too far to the left on that as well, so that also didn't help. I would have been a lot closer if I would have got that straight. All right, so now we're putting. I want to show you what I know, and I've gotten pretty good at putting. I'm not perfect, especially at 29 feet. I'm not going to do the best here, but so putting, you definitely want to take practice swings, and I'll show you what practice swings. I think I've already shown you what practice swings are. I'm filming this a little bit out of order, but so we see our grid is here showing us the slope of the green. Okay, right in front of me, it's a little fast. I'm only going to really worry about the slope close to the pin. So we see that it's not really moving close to the pin. I feel like I could maybe just go a hair to the left, since before the pin it's sloping to the right just a tad, but I'm not going to go too far. The other thing I'm going to keep in mind is you see that up 4 inches. That means there's a slope. I'm going up, so I need to maybe factor in a little extra power. So the game has already put me a little past the pin, knowing that I need a little extra power to get there. I don't have it just right on the hole here, because if I were to do that, I wouldn't have enough power. So I'm gonna go back. Let's reset. I'll hit all right bumper. Let's go to the left just a hair, 4 inches. Click in the right thumbstick. Let's take a practice swing. Too fast, too much power. Sometimes if you go under power or over power, you're still going to come out okay, depending on the situation. Too much power. I can kind of tell. You just got to go back just a little bit slower. And you can also notice whenever you're putting, there's no fast or slow, so you're not worrying about shanking the ball left or right. You can kind of go back a little slower. Look, but you can see that I am going. Let's go for it. Perfect. I went too far to the left. I should have just left it where it was. Just tap that right in. So not bad, not bad. All right, here we are again. So I'm just going to kind of speed up a little bit more. I don't want this video to be super long, but I do want you to have a good understanding of what the game is about. So I am going to I'm going to angle a little bit left so that I get a little extra curve on there. I could just hit it straight and just go over here and let the wind push it. And we're driving and we're on normal. That was a little fast. Little fast. Perfect. I mean, you just got to feel it out. It's just like a little adjustments. I didn't get all the power. I was a little slow, so we're curving a little right, but that's okay. And we're on the fairway. So now we are on the fairway. You can see that we are at 97 to 100% power. So if I get to 100% power, I'm going to get all of my power out of this. We're on our 5 hybrid. And whenever the game puts you in these situations, it's only giving you like some suggestions, but you can change whatever you want to do. Like I could pitch from here, whatever I wanted to do. I'm going to leave it on normal. And then as you change your iron, so I'm going to go up on the D-pad, 4 hybrid. I'm not going to use the driver. I'm going to use the 4 hybrid from here. Keep in mind that I've got the wind, and I added a little bit of a curve here. And again, everything I'm doing right here is dependent on if I get my swing perfect or not. That's literally, if you can get that down, you're going to be golden for this game. Everything else you'll just kind of learn, but that's what takes the most practice. That's why the driving range is so important. All right, let's go for it. Let's take a practice swing. Perfect. Little slow. I think we're okay. We're still okay. Wow, I'm actually keeping it on the fairway this game. What is this? So this is a par 5, so that's why it's taking us a bit. All right, so now we're gonna pitch. If we were closer, I would be splash or flopping. But since we're still a good decent ways away, I'm gonna pitch. We're still on the fairway, so I'm getting most of my power. I always look in the top right. I keep nailing that. I keep repeating that because it's very important. 6 mile an hour downwind. Maybe we could go up to the 7 iron. I'm gonna go up to the 7 iron, so I'm a little bit past the pin. You know, if you want to try and make it in the hole, which could happen, I also look at the slope. So the slope is kind of right before the pin is kind of going left. If I hit it just right, there's a chance it could go in. Now, whenever you're pitching, chipping, and all that, your speed is a little different. So I'm going to take some practice swings here. I was perfect on that. Usually I'm very slow on these, and that's... there's a very slow. So on my up, I have to go faster. There's a perfect. Oh, one thing I didn't think about. Let's hit left bumper. Look at the slope of where I'm standing. See, I would have hit that and this ball would have went, if I would have got everything perfect, this ball would have gone left because where my feet is sloping down. I know my camera is kind of the wrong way, but it's sloping to the left. So we need to come back over here and go left a little bit. And it's a pretty decent sloping down to the left too. Look how fast that white line is rolling. It looked kind of at first glance, it looked like it was flat, right? But no, that's why that's really important. And I wish they would put that in the bunkers so you can kind of see that. This might not be enough here. Let's see what happens. I got a perfect 100% power. Look at that. Not bad. So I think I overcorrected a little too much, but I'll take it. Here we go. I explained putting a little earlier, so let's kind of go for it again. I'm going to show one thing here. So if you look in the very bottom right of the screen, there's a putter with a 3 in the A button. What that is I don't know what the term is for it in this game. We call it Tiger Vision because that's what it used to be called. It's going to show me exactly where my putt's going to go if I get my power correct. Some modes, you can use it an infinite amount of times, the more beginner modes, like the difficulties. Some online and different things, you get a certain number of them. So if you're on a really challenging putt, you might want to save them for that. I'm just going to show it to you here. So I'm going to hold A. Let's see how accurate I was going to be with this putt. Much more of a curve than I thought. So what I'm going to do now is this is where I was. I'm going to take the amount from that line, the line that it just showed me, to the hole, and I'm going to take that and add it to where I was at. It might be too much. Let's take a couple practice swings. But it just shows you, like, you putting, it's just a lot of practice of kind of reading the greens. And also getting your up and down on your stick is still very important in putting. I've gotten my power perfect and everything, but I went to the left and I screwed up the shot. Underpowered, little underpowered, or actually I wasn't underpowered. I should have went more right. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I know that if I would have saw a video like this, it would have been really helpful to me, just kind of starting off in the game and not understanding what everything means and what it's. I know I didn't include a couple of things as far as like the different shots that you can take, but I didn't want to make this video too long. So thanks again for watching. I would love for you to subscribe. I'm going to try and keep putting out more content on this channel, and I would love to see you over on twitch.tv/isotaco. Have a great day. Be good to each other and be blessed.